I'm currently sitting in my car on the street outside of my shrink's office. It's Friday, and every Friday I go to my therapist's office and talk about stuff that's gone on, and it is going on inside my head. Today while I was at work, I got into a conversation with my boss about politics. Specifically, my attitude towards religious-influenced politics. The idea that religious philosophy has such a heavy-handed grasp on modern political direction and generated law, and how I don't agree with that at all. I think that while I understand that religion helps create the foundation for one's moral fiber, or their moral standing, that using religion as the tool for which laws should be based I don't agree with at all. I am not an active practicing member of whatever faith happens to be in office at the time, and I don't think that that particular faith's tenets should be what law is based upon. Now, I do understand that we have laws that were based on religious philosophy that have been helpful, but those are laws that are for the common good, not for the specific good. A fine example of that would be the laws that are trying to be passed against abortion, the fact that currently it's illegal for same-sex couples to get married. Things like that, things that are based specifically and solely in religious philosophy, where science has proven that there's no negative to it, but because religious attitudes say differently, those laws are created. And I disagree with that. I do not think that the society that I live in should be dictated by one group's religious philosophy. That's all. But that's not the point. The point of this particular video was that I was having a conversation, and I made a comment to explain my attitude about religious influence on law, and I had mentioned Sharia law in reference to some countries in the Middle East that are specifically theocracies, and the way that they handle their legal doctrine, and how extreme it is, you know. And because of the fact that I made this comment about Sharia law, there are several Muslims that I work with in my office, and one of them had heard the conversation and he interjected. And he made it clear that I'm fucking ignorant. I'm really ignorant when it comes to what Sharia law is and what countries are actually affected by it. Now, I don't mind it. I openly admitted. I said, you're right, I'm wrong. I didn't know what I was talking about. I am not well educated in what Sharia law is and the actual function of Sharia law in comparison to how it's actually being applied in countries. But that moment, it made me feel really fucking stupid, because when I'm making a point or I'm trying to express an opinion, and part of the facts, part of the information that I use to communicate that is legitimate, but part of it isn't, it makes it look like I don't know what I'm fucking talking about, period. And I don't like feeling that way. I don't like feeling like I have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. Not that because I want to be an expert on everything, but I just don't like sounding like someone who's completely ignorant and espousing some bullshit, emotive opinion. So, yeah, it was just the idea of talking about this and having somebody introduce to me the idea that I really am ignorant, you know, is that I'm more influenced by the media than I realize. I do know some things, but a majority of what I know is based on what I've heard or what I've read, and those sources are the American media. So I'm dealing with, I'm dealing with sources that are prejudiced, or that are already having leanings, and whatever propaganda that they want to feed, I've been eating it up and not realizing it. I don't like being ignorant. I don't like feeling that I'm propagating stupidity. I don't like the idea that I'm speaking and I have to question what I'm saying because I feel that I do know what I'm talking about, only to turn out that I don't. I don't mind being ignorant because ignorance can be cured. Ignorance is just a matter of research, and I'm going to obviously have to do more reading before I make another comment of this type. But my personal attitude about religion and its effect on politics isn't affected by whether or not I know about Sharia law. My attitude about the way it influences society in general is not affected by what I know about Sharia law. Yet, because of the fact that I use that as a reference to make a point specifically about how religion can affect the way that law is influenced and how it affects the people overall, and I was wrong, my primary comment was wrong. And that bothers the fuck out of me. I know what I was trying to say. I know what I was trying to communicate. I know what I was trying to say as far as how I feel, in my personal opinion. But it becomes invalidated when I'm quoting shit that just isn't true, you know? So that was what was on my mind. I'm going to be going to talk to the therapist shortly, and I'll probably talk to him about the same thing. But yeah, I don't like how that made me feel. I don't like how I ended up looking. So there you go. Just a quick video to explain that. That's it.